All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have waited a long time. In fact, I've waited an hour and 20 minutes for this. And many of you just now getting here, lucky you. We have a best of 5 between Viper and Tatoh. I want to point this out for YouTube. If you're seeing this game and you're not seeing Game 2, Game 3, Game 4, it's because those games were not, in my opinion, worthy of a separate upload. But what I'm doing is I'm putting the entire best of 5 in a separate video in the video description. So you can click that. It will be unlisted, so you have to actually see this video, look in the description, and click that link. This is something I'm going to be doing more and more often, guys, because I recognize that you guys want to see the best of 11s, best of 9s, but sometimes the games just aren't worthy of a big YouTube video. So I'm uploading them all. I'm just not making them all public, right? This map right here, my friends, is called Dorado. It's a really cool map. I was just talking about fun facts with the stream here, and we were talking about hill bonuses. Well, villagers collect from fish faster than they do a boar. So you'll see the players forget about the boars until they take these marlins. A Viper is going out to this wood line here. This map also has gold and stone. There's not a ton. And look what they can see in their line of sight in the middle. There's stone and gold there. The other interesting part about this is that you can see when your opponent makes a move for the center. Tatoh's here. He's playing as the Indian. So it is Indians versus the Portuguese. Now I want to show you a bonus here. Where is it? Fishermen work 15% faster and carry plus 15 for Indians. So Tatoh, we did a Civ draft. Tatoh got Indians. I'm a little bit surprised he's gone for the boar. But anyway, when he does collect his food from the fish, he will bring it in pretty fast. I've seen this map quite a few times. The build orders are relatively standard. We see a lot of scouts. Because of the amount of food, players click up pretty early, but we do see a lot of scout builds and then normal transitions into archers and maybe Indians that might go into camels, you never know. So we'll keep an eye on this. Of course, Indians, if you didn't already know, they have cheaper villagers. So Tatoh should be able to advance even earlier than Viper. It's all about the center area though, guys. This is not a game that you can comfortably go to the Imperial Age. You need to be applying pressure because if you lose access to the middle, it can be tough. I've seen a lot of towers. Come forward, place some towers, control the stone and gold, but you can't control this whole area with a few towers. You need to tower everywhere. Is there anyone in the Twitch chat that has not seen this map? And while we're at it, YouTube, I'm interested in if this is new for you guys. If it is, maybe we'll do more of it. Look at Viper pushing in the deer with a villager. He shot it once, and then he pushed it in a couple tiles, and then finished it off. You've never seen it. Okay, we'll have to do it more often. I think this won a map-making contest a few years ago. This map has been around a while. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, the amount of information in this game. I've been casting for years and I still get surprised by some things. We were just talking about how when you're on top of a hill you do 25% more damage and then the person fighting uphill does 25% less. Then the most confusing one for viewers at times could be, let's say there's a shorefish, right? And you collect that with the fishing ship. That is one of the slowest food incomes you can have in the game. But if you collect that shorefish with a villager, it's the second fastest food collection in the game, right behind Mongol Hunt. It can be confusing, of course, but it's so cool, all the differences players need to know, casters need to know, and that you can experience. 17 villagers for Tatoh, and he is on his way up. He's building a barracks. He will go for scouts here, I'm sure of it. Doesn't have as much wood as he might want. It's weird that there's this straggler here, so I guess he has a total of 6 lumberjacks. Will want enough to build a stable. Will want enough wood to then get his eco upgrades. Food will not be an issue for him. And wow, this is very good for Tatoh, guys. Because he will hit feudal age first, which means he'll get more speed and more attack on his scout. And that's why Tatoh continues to chase here. If you're Viper, you have to turn around and fight on the hill here, I think. Yeah, Viper will need to get back to his base and garrison that TC if he wants the scout to stay alive. This is too late for him to try and take the hill. And Tatoh will kill Viper's scout at this rate. because he gets 3+2 attack while Viper's still on 3 attack. And yeah, Viper loses his scout. And this is before Viper gets a lot of scouting information in on Tato's base, but he, of course, knows about the center. Kcon says, T90 official, can you please tell us about Amazon Prime? Well, Kcon, I'm not sure. I'm not that experienced in the matter, but I believe that if you have Amazon Prime, you can link it with Twitch and get 1 free sub to a streamer a month. It's called Twitch Prime or something. There might be a command in the chat that explains it. I'm not sure, man. But Little Bustard knows. Little Bustard, thank you for the Prime sub, man. Viper starting the walls. The one good thing about Viper's base is he can wall it off a little bit more. See Tato's woodline versus Viper's woodline? Viper's woodline is way better, and he could use this as a wall towards the edge of the map. And he's already beginning that. So even though Viper was up later, I don't think we'll have any concerns about that. Tato's scout is weak. And Tatoh should get more momentum because he hit Feudal Age faster. So now it's 3 military for Tatoh, and that's all scouts. While Viper just has some defensive spears. But it is Viper, right? So you have to expect that he won't take too much damage from this. And he should be just fine. Now, I think Indians are way better than Portuguese in early feudal. In Castle Age, it depends on what the players get to, but I like Indians a bit more. Elite Skirm and Camel is a really strong combo to counter Portuguese. And so far, Tatoh, he's had the freedom at home to add eco and get there. We have yet to see the focus on the center. Players normally don't need gold or stone at this time, and yeah, Tatoh, he disrupted Viper's woodline a little bit, but he sees the spear and he will now run away. So Tatoh building farms out here. You can't build farms in this little area, so you have to build farms around a mill. And Tatoh loses his weak scout. Nice pick off from Viper. Tatoh overextending a little bit. Actually, that was very good for Viper because both of Tato's scouts that are still alive got hits, or got hit by Viper, so we will probably see a few spears for Tatoh because he knows he's going to need to run back home, and that's exactly what he's doing. Hill advantage is something we touched on already. That's something Tatoh tried to utilize there for a moment. Viper expecting Tatoh to be there, and now he sees that Tatoh ran back towards his base. So does Viper chase this, or does Viper go forward? Looks like he's playing defensive once again. I know Viper is very good. He's probably the best player ever. Certainly the best player right now. But in RTS games, you do have to play more defensive to be successful. Viper never all-ins unless he's trolling. He has well-calculated attacks that do a certain amount of damage, but he never like goes YOLO with an all-in attack, and Viper doing the wise thing and coming back. Tato's just being annoying right now. And there's not many vills that can hop into that TC for Viper, so those scouts will still survive. And what we're not seeing is just how many farms they're adding, how they're setting up their economies. All that is important behind this. Now, Viper's gone to his gold here. So he'll either add an archer range next and start that archer transition. Ooh, this is so good for Viper because he has the spears. Yeah, or Viper might invest into bloodlines, which I don't think he'll do, but that would give his scouts some extra HP. After all this action, guys, 1 kill, 1 death for both players, and it was the starting scouts. Tatoh just happened to lose his in feudal. Strode says, I think most people know by now about the hill bonus. Most people that watch you play this game too. Or doesn't it? No, man, I don't think so. Tato's making a lot of feudal age scouts, and I think Viper's trying to go towards Castle Age, so Viper could be caught out. How many people watching the stream haven't played this game before, or haven't played it in like a year, for example? Strode, I think that this is a great spectator sport. This is relaxing. It's fun to watch. There's so much to analyze, even if you've never played it. Yes, here we go. There's a bunch of people. Fens, I think you're lying, dude. You played community games. So, anyway, there are a lot of people that have said that they have not played this game. And also, there's a lot of people new to the stream and new to the community, so I always try and explain these things. Just keep in mind that there's always someone new watching the stream or watching the videos. So I have to cater to the people who know everything, and then I have to cater to the people who are new as well. So I try and mix it up. Now, you see what Viper has done here? He noticed that Tatoh created a lot of extra scouts. I believe that Tatoh created those scouts because he wasn't 100% certain on what Viper was going to invest into. The Viper picks off a villager. He's just distracting Tatoh's army now and walling up at home. So Tatoh has wasted a lot of food to create these scouts, and he's going to have a later castle age time now. If he doesn't do damage with these scouts, he invested in far too many. How many farms do they have? I'm just curious. This doesn't mean too much. 12 farmers for Tatoh. Viper, 18 farmers. Yeah, so Viper has so much more in the way of food eco coming in as well. And he's on stone, guys. So he will maybe look for a castle and castle age out here. He clicks up the castle age after this market. There we go. And Tatoh needs to be sure that Viper can't get out here. He needs to utilize his scouts, get to his camels soon, and keep Viper from camping the middle. Both players on stone. But I think Viper's, his build, again, it's a lot safer than Tatoh's. And it's well calculated, as it normally is from him. Rev Winfield said, I played when I was 12, back when it came out. I haven't played it. I played a total of 3 games against AI since I started watching casts of the game last year. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think you'll see many other video games like that, chat. Maybe some old ones that trigger some nostalgia for people, similar to Age of Empires, but I even have people who just found the game within the last year or two because of my YouTube and they don't play. It's the beauty of Age of Empires 2. Viper has a minute head start to Castle Age. He has a few spears and all these scouts which he's just distracting with. No upgrades. If he comes out here and starts building that castle, he's going to need some time. And Tatoh could even use these scouts, as things stand, to pick off those villagers if the villagers aren't walled in. So Viper deletes a house. He's on his way now with 5 villagers. And will Tatoh see this? Well, yeah, Tatoh will see it. Because once the castle's going up on this map, you can see what's going on here. And Tatoh will have a little bit of time to react to this. Oh, Viper's building a safe castle. Okay. He's building a safe castle. Never mind. I don't know how I feel about that. If it was any other player in the community, I would say that's kind of weird. You know? If that's Tatoh, how many of you would be saying Tatoh needs to build that in the middle? Viper would build that in the middle. Sure, many of you. Now, I understand why he doesn't want to be like Doubt and build a castle that's too ballsy. But I feel like at the very least he could have built it right here on this hill. But he's playing it safe once again. And he's gone into Pikeman because he expects camels and light cav from Tatoh. Tatoh hits Castle Age and Tatoh looking to counterattack. Frankers and Atra, the organ guns are just one of those unique units that's only really good in a post-imp situation when you can afford to make them constantly. So basically team games with trade. It's not a good 1v1 unit really. I don't think it needs buffed. I just think that it's a unit that takes time to mass, and thus it's hard to justify. Viper's actually going for them now. So we'll get to see how the combo goes. I think if you have a buffer in front, like Pikeman, you have Pikeman in front, that can be really nice. The problem with these organ guns sometimes is they have minimum range. So if you have Pikeman to stop the light cav or the knights or camels from getting into that minimum range, then they do 16 damage from behind the pikeman. So all Tatoh sees at the moment is this. He's adding camels. He'll find out in a moment what Viper has. And it's, you know what? It's almost brilliant from Viper because he's hidden this decision. He's hidden the pikemen. He's hidden the organ guns especially. And Tatoh did not expect that. That's for sure. A Viper, these scouts are throwaways to him. So he wanted to kill a villager. He ends up getting the kill with the organ guns. And Tatoh, he's adding town centers at home, but he has not done much to secure the gold in the center. Tatoh has mobility, so maybe he'll try and pick off these reinforcements when Viper sends them in. Remember I said Camel and Skirm is great for Indians. Maybe if he had Camel and Skirm. But now it's almost impossible for Tatoh to transition. It would take way too much time and Viper would snowball his units, so... oh, I say that and he adds archery ranges, so okay, he's gonna try. He could hit Viper's eco, but Viper has full walled this. So I doubt that will happen. But at the very least, he's forcing Viper into some more walls now. MBL says they're decent in Castle Age. Yeah, it's... I would say, in a way, it's similar to Korean war wagons. They're really strong in high numbers, but they're difficult to get to. Like, Viper couldn't add this many if he was on 3 TCs at home, for example. He's just on 1 TC right now because he knows the middle is important, so he's putting all of his resources here. Whereas other unique units, you can be on 3 TCs in Castle Age and make them. So... well, Viper's army is more worried about the center as he builds a town center to secure the stone and gold. And Tatoh, he probably assumes Viper could be looping around to trap him, so he's leaving. He can't get in there. Player of Viper's quality is not gonna let Tatoh get in with that much time. Oreo says, is there a reason why AoE2 took off more in the EU? Or at least more players nowadays? Well, this is just a theory. Hold on a second. I can answer that question after the game. I have some theories on that. But let's see here. How will these light cav do? The light cav got a good engagement there, but the pikemen arrive. These things, when mass can be strong. I really like the combo from Viper. Now, Tatoh is mixing in... he built ranges. I thought it would be CA or skirms. This is my point on transitioning, guys. It's so difficult to react to this now because he needs to mass the units he's transitioning to. So as he's adding those skirmishers, it takes time and it gives Viper more and more time to secure the center. And he's got to be on his way to another castle soon. Yeah, he definitely is. He could actually purchase that castle if he felt rushed. So, I don't think there's actually going to be an engagement for Tatoh and Viper just yet. Tatoh's just running around. To answer that question, I think that... and again, I could be wrong on this, but a lot of the consoles first launched in the States, right? Or at least they were more popular in the States, and people could afford to purchase them in the States when they first started coming out, right? So when the zone went down, I remember there being a ton of... I've been told there was a lot of American players back in the day. But after the zone went down, a lot of Americans just kind of... they thought Age of Empires was dead and they moved on to consoles. Whereas there's a huge South American player base still. And it could be because they, you know, everyone has a computer, or computers are easier to get than consoles, or easier to justify. Maybe the same with Europe, I'm not sure. But I think that's the reason. Because again, we have a lot of Americans coming back to the game now, they just didn't stay. I don't think this is a great situation for Tatoh. I mean, just to point out the obvious, as Viper builds a castle in the center, really all he can do now is go up to Imp faster than Viper, and then start pushing back the center with Trebs. Let's see these skirmishers. Man, that's gonna take quite some micro to kill those organ guns. What are they doing? One damage per hit? 2 damage per hit? Oh yeah, that's just not the answer. And Tatoh is on the way to the next stage. Maybe his faster Imperial Age upgrades will do it for him, but even the Magnell, not enough. And Viper, he's having a field day right now. He is having an absolute field day. Maganel, 7 range, Orkan Gun, 7 range, so he'll make quick work of that. He's already killed the stable, he's working on killing the archery range. I don't think you can dock this, right? So, you can't even rely on any demos, Tatoh, even though he loves them. And Viper has gone for the classic push for map control strategy, and it's perfect on a map like El Dorado. very solid play from Viper here. And Tatoh will get Bracer. Still working on getting some more upgrades on his skirms as well. Like the defense upgrades might be nice. I'm not too sure. If he can mass enough skirms to deal with these organ guns, he'll definitely be able to kill the pikemen. So it's all about the organ guns for Viper. And Viper now coming in for what I believe is another castle, yeah. Buying himself some time, Viper. Quite literally, because he has the gold. So, Tatoh has researched guard tower to help hold against Viper's push. And I don't think Viper is truly looking to finish Tatoh off here. He doesn't need to. He just needs to get himself to imp now. Probably realizes Tatoh's up because Tatoh hasn't really pushed him at all. And he'll know soon enough anyhow. And Tatoh, he doesn't have the stone to build a castle, so he can't tread push this. It's just not a great situation. Adding more TCs now. There's Bracer. Viper clicks up to imp right as Taz is clicking Bracer for his skirms. But I think Tatoh has to address this. Oh man, Viper's going for the blacksmith. Wouldn't that have been something if you killed the blacksmith before Bracer completed? That's not going... Wait. Oh! That was so close. Luckily for Tatoh, he got Bracer completed. That was much closer than I expected. But, you know what? The only thing he could do is just counterattack and hit the main eco of Viper. Just avoid the gold now and try and kill Viper's vills, I guess. Because Viper has most of his military forward. Maybe that's one thing he can go for. Yeah, Tato's completing chemistry now, so he can go bombard cannons. But it's just... more time, right? More time wasted here. The Viper's on the way back. It's funny, Viper expected this. They play enough games to know exactly what the player will do in certain situations. So Viper was trying to build an outpost there, and then the villager got sniped by the army Viper expected. So, oh, Viper, oh, that wall's buying him a little bit of time to get this castle up. And that's just enough. I think the castle would have easily gone up despite that. Or, regardless. I've seen Viper making quick use of the palisade gates. Ever since user patch added the feature that you can rotate them with the scroll wheel. He does it once again here. Just ensuring that Tatoh cannot close in on him. Now, where's Tatoh's siege workshop now? It's here. It's not creating any bombard cannons. And oh my god, Tatoh's...
Yes.
Tatoh's losing everything over here. These are just regular organ guns. That's it. Pikeman and organ gun. I was curious why Viper chose Portuguese. Well, I know the answer now. Yeah, I don't think Viper's troubled at all. Tatoh doesn't have the gold to push this back. He really doesn't. He can try and micro here, but Viper can add his own bombard cannons. He could also just mix in something like light cav. Light cav or champion even wouldn't be too bad versus everything that Tatoh has. It probably wants to avoid champion because Tatoh can add gunpowder soon, but just look at the numbers. 61 military for Viper. You know what this comes back to? It comes back to Tatoh creating extra scouts. Those extra scouts are still here in the form of light cav, but what have they done? All they've done is delay the Castle Age technology for Tatoh, and at this level, you have to know how many units are necessary. Since he was later to Castle Age, he couldn't stop the castle, he couldn't have Castle Age techs, and that is why Viper's in the position he's in right now. And Viper now researching elite organ guns. So currently they have 16 attack, 7 range, and 60 HP. And you can see their armors there as well if you're curious. The stat change will come in a moment for those that were asking questions about it. I saw quite a few people doing that in the Twitch chat. Viper going for another castle. And yeah, now it's 20 attack, extra armor, and 70 HP. And Tatoh, he's chosen capped ram here. Viper has a small hill. Viper needs to be careful with his trebs. This is where he wanted to build his next castle. Now this choke point is going to be beautiful for the organ guns. Tatoh has yet to even come close to killing that trebuchet. I don't even think the Rams can do much against these guys, right? Yeah, the Rams get massacred. And Tatoh's skirmishers, they're doing a decent job, but it is not enough to get the middle back. And that's the end of the first game in this best of 5. So the next map coming up is Cross, I think. No, the next map is Pond Arena. Viper gets a win with Portuguese, and we'll move right along to the second game. Again, it all came back to how many scouts Tatoh invested in. Viper playing it very safe, not over-investing, and its decision-making 9 times out of 10 in this game. And there's the KD for Viper after he got to the center. You know, I liked the idea for Tatoh to go Indians. He advanced faster to feudal age, but he didn't use that advantage. Not saying he should have done more, he actually should have done less, just not create as many scouts, and I think his castle age time could have even been better. The other thing was economically. Remember I checked the farm numbers. Viper had 18, Tatoh had 12. 12 is really not enough to have a lightning fast castle time. But it's just the small things at the competitive level. MLZK resubs for 13 months. Thank you very much, man. Fun fact,